My parents spoiled my brother with everything: private tutors, a $30,000 car, and a job at my dad's company. I was the invisible one until I quietly became a millionaire. At a family BBQ, he blew up when he found out. Mark got the fanfare. He always did. From the moment he turned 12. My brother, 2 years my senior, was the golden child. Private tutors for everything from calculus to classical guitar. A brand new $30,000 Ford Mustang convertible on his 18th birthday paid for in cash. And upon graduating college with a C average, a directorship at my father's logistics company. I, Alex, was the ghost. My parents' philosophy, or perhaps their exhaustion, shifted entirely for me. I was told to be resourceful when I needed a car. I bought a beat-up Civic with 2 part-time jobs and a summer of stacking boxes. When I needed a job, I got one. When I needed help, I figured it out. I learned quickly that the easiest way to navigate my family was to be quiet, efficient, and, above all, invisible. While Mark coasted through life, complaining about the difficulty of managing the department my father had created solely for him. I went to a state university on a full scholarship. I majored in data science, not because it was exciting, but because it was scalable. I didn't join clubs or parties. I coded. I invested every dollar. I saved from my side hustle building e-commerce sites for local small businesses. I lived like a student for 10 years after graduation, avoiding flashy purchases and keeping my head down. My investments weren't in stocks or crypto. They were boring. Niche software subscriptions and micro-rental properties in overlooked neighborhoods. It was a slow, agonizing grind, but it was mine. Last year, the quiet hustle paid off. I crossed the $1 million net worth mark. My parents still thought I was renting a shared apartment and working as a freelance computer guy. They still worried endlessly about Mark, who was now heavily leveraged on the $600,000 house they co-signed for. The annual family barbecue was held at my parents' sprawling suburban home. Mark was holding court by the grill, complaining loudly to my father about the difficulty of managing his budget. I was sitting quietly on the porch, nursing a beer, when Mark spotted me. He sauntered over, wiping grease on his pristine apron. "There you are, Alex, still running that little web design business," he asks, not unkindly, but with the distinct condescension of someone who had never truly earned a paycheck. "It must be tough out there. You know, Dad and I were talking if things get really tight. Maybe we could find you an inventory counting role. It's honest work." He paused, waiting for my humble thanks. My mother and father turned to listen, nodding with pity. I took a slow sip of my beer. "That's generous, Mark," I said, "but I think I'll pass." Mark chuckled. "Right, too proud. Look, I get it, but sometimes you need to swallow that pride and take the leg up. We all need help sometimes, right? It's not a race." "It's not," I agreed, setting the can down. "But since we're talking finance, I should tell you, I closed on my 10th rental property last month. The portfolio currently generates enough passive income for me to retire tomorrow." The sizzling of the grill seemed to stop. Mark blinked, his smile dissolving. My father looked confused. My mother dropped a napkin. "What?" Mark finally sputtered. "Rental properties. You can't even afford a new car. You drive that rusted Civic." "It works fine," I replied calmly. "And I don't need a new one." All told, I crossed a net worth of $1.2 million earlier this quarter. No debt, no co-signers, and no assistance from Dad's company. Mark's face went